The weather in Egypt, the ins and the outs videos. Okay, the weather over here is different than I have seen in other countries. It's very diverse and even can be extreme sometimes. It also depends where you are located, like Cairo and surrounding is different than the Sinai Peninsula or Hurghada, for example. It gets much colder here. Like in the morning, it can be really cold in winter time. You definitely have to wear a winter coat. That's why when I came to Egypt, I came with 2 winter coats because before I moved or fled to Egypt, I knew this country already. I was already coming here on holiday because I'm a scuba diver as well. So I knew the weather. That's why I brought my winter coats. And in general, in the morning time, it's so much colder than it is around noon. It can be very cold in the morning, and in around noon or like 11 o'clock in the morning, it gets warm. So then you have to take off your jacket again. But if you flee, you can take your winter coat with you. Very advisable, maybe a winter coat and just a normal coat. I already saw 3 people. They fled, they came, and they had no coat with them. I think I met them in the morning, and I saw them with a t-shirt on. And I said, "Don't you think it's very cold?" They say yes, but they didn't bring a coat because they thought that the country was going to be really warm. But this is not the case. When let's say you look on the forecast, you see it's going to be 30 degrees that day. I don't even know how much that is in Fahrenheit. I think it's like 86 or something. Then in the morning it can be maybe like, it feels like 10 degrees. I don't know how much that is in Fahrenheit, but there's a huge difference between the morning and late morning. The weather just changed drastically. So to bring a winter coat and a normal coat is highly recommended. My landlord told me that in March, apparently every Egyptian knows this, in March you have all the 4 seasons in one month. And it can be even that, the morning is maybe extremely windy and very cold, and suddenly, maybe even 30 minutes later, it's just summer and perfect weather without any wind. In generally, if I go outside, I mostly see all the people wearing a coat. Of course, the Egyptians, they can even wear a coat in the summertime. I mean, they can handle this really good. They wear a lot of clothes, and even in summertime. But almost everyone is wearing a coat in the morning. Me too. And after a certain time, I take my coat off. I definitely never will make the mistake anymore to go on a trip and to, it's going to be, let's say, it's going to be warm that day, but in the morning it's completely different. So never leave your house without a coat unless it's summer. Starting from June, maybe even May, mostly June, begin June until the end of September. It is 24 hours warm. It is maybe even too hot. Then you most likely can leave your house without a coat, because it's just the hot air stays, the heat stays in the air for 4 months. So that is the only time that you actually do not need to wear a coat. But other than that, highly recommended to always have a coat with you. So yeah, I think the weather is, I really enjoyed the weather last year, and this year it was also really great weather. I love coldness, to be honest. I'm from the Netherlands. I'm just wearing a long winter coat, and I found it really pleasant to have air, good air. So when it's cold, the quality of the air upgrades, of course. So I think the weather in general is really good, except not for those 4 summer months. Then it can be a little bit too hot sometimes. But other than that, I found the weather really good and pleasant over here. This was Testimony from the Borders. Shalom.